Well, some very beneficial rain, especially during the early hours of this Thursday. Here in the Bluegrass, good 1-2 inch plus. Over toward Frankfort, 3 inches. So really knocking that drought down. Now, some patchy fog, that's going to be possible. Could be a little dense tomorrow morning. So something to keep in mind. Mainly dry, pleasantly warm. This weekend, X factor, potentially next week, the tropics getting a little more active. It has been very, very quiet so far this season, which is always a good news relative to any landfalling system, but that could have an impact on our rain chances. Speaking of, Viper radar still showing a few little spotty showers here and there. The main frontal boundary is through the area. It is into parts of southwestern Virginia, but the issue is we got some mid to upper level energy that's lagging behind, and there's enough moisture to tap into. You see what's going on across west central Tennessee and even up toward Bowling Green with a few little clusters of storms developing. I think as the sun sets here within the next couple hours, we'll be in much better shape. Over the last 24 hours, you can see the bullseye here, basically either side of the I-64 corridor and down the Bluegrass Parkway, where, again, some isolated spots had upwards of 3 inches of rain. Finally back into some sunshine in front of the Montgomery County Courthouse there in Mount Sterling at 77. So temperatures rebounding nicely late this afternoon. A lot more in the way of sun in Jackson County, 77 there at the Kentucky Mesonet site near McKee. That's why we've seen low 80s down south and more mid to upper 70s here in the Bluegrass. Yeah, our dew points are up just a touch. Still in the 60s, much better than what we had yesterday when we were in the low 70s, but there is some drier air that will begin to work in. So there's the aforementioned front out of the area. It's just that lingering upper level energy, which is going to be a bit of a player. I've alluded to this the last couple of days about it being a little pesky and maybe stalling out to our southeast. Notice on Futurecast tomorrow morning, a good bit of fog in the area. I wouldn't be surprised to see a dense fog advisory. And tomorrow afternoon, mix of clouds and sunshine, mid to upper 70s. Yeah, a few little isolated showers, few specks of green there on the Futurecast. We're going to hang on to that potential. Now look at our drought monitor. No change at all from a week ago. And you're thinking, how's that even possible? Well, first off, the only thing that's been taken into consideration is that squall line of storms that moved here on Monday, because this measurement's taken at 8 a.m. on Tuesday and it's issued today. So it didn't get any better or worse, but what we've had the last couple of days not factored in at all. Now this is a much different story. Notice we were in the red through this area here and we've almost wiped that out completely. So we're making some headway and have really improved things in that regard. Now looking ahead to the weekend, again, the front kind of stalls out, a little wave of energy riding along it. That could mean for a wet evening down in Columbia, South Carolina, for Kentucky and South Carolina for the football game on Saturday evening. So that's something to watch. Should be mainly dry here at home. We'll be in good shape. I mentioned the tropics. We've got about a 90% chance of this area of disturbed weather over the Dominican Republic to becoming a tropical system. Normally, we track that thing heading up the eastern seaboard, but there's the X factor. That is tropical storm, eventually Hurricane Umberto, and there's a scenario, doesn't happen often, it's called the Fujiwara effect. The Japanese meteorologist 100 years ago figured this out. When you have two tropical systems within about 600 to 900 miles of each other, a lot of times they will begin to rotate around a center point, and of course, that really impacts the intensity and more so the track. So the models are having a devil of a time trying to figure out how this is going to play out, because if you have that effect, then that may eventually steer this away from the East Coast to the U.S. Some of the models straight up bring it into the Carolinas next week, and if that happens, that would obviously throw some moisture back our way. For now, all the rain associated with that front stays off to our east. More to come on that. Few clouds, areas of dense fog later tonight, 59. 78 tomorrow after the morning fog diminishes. We're in good shape, mostly sunny, nice. And for now, we're going to keep things high and dry to finish out September. And yes, kick off October next week with mainly sunny days and nice warm afternoons with highs into the low 80s.